Everyone. Welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Want to say hello to everyone, and also hello to my awesome host and producer, DJ Lab. How's it going, brother?
What's going on? Hey, I got to say one thing.
Talk to me.
Anybody that's trying to watch you on YouTube, I'm sorry. I forgot to change the streaming key. I'm on Misfits Media YouTube page streaming. So I apologize to y'all. We are not on Poochie's page. We're on Misfits Media, Misfits Radio YouTube page. We'll get it uploaded to his page, but I apologize. It's my fault. So we on Misfits Media.
All right, we make it happen. we ain't gonna major in the minors. We all good to go and everything. So, but how you doing, brother?
Good, another long week, but other than that, I'm great.
All right, get back on track. We in there now. We in there. I had awesome week so far. Also, tax season over with. We ended that on Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I want to send. Hey, Chi. I want to send a big thank you for all the continued support we had from previous year clients, and also from the new clients we had. We did awesome this year. We had a lot of challenges and everything that we was able to overcome, and overall, I think all of our customers had a great experience. Like I say, the ones we retained from previous years, and also the new ones. So we did great this year, and I just appreciate all the love and support we got. And also, I want to extend the invitation out. If you had not got your taxes done, just still give us a call. We're still in business. I'll make sure I get the company's contact information out. So I know it's a lot of people that didn't. A swarm of people came to us to get those extensions in, and we'll be clearing them out over the next couple of weeks. But definitely, if you didn't have an opportunity to get your taxes done, come see us. Even if you got multiple years, or whatever, we'll be able to get you squared away. So again, we had a great tax season. Again, from the bottom of my heart and the staff at Majestic Business Services, just want to tell you thank you for all the love and support that you gave us this past tax season. With that said, I'm going to spend the rest of April trying to unwind and relax.
Right.
Man, this past weekend, man, I ain't really get probably about 6 hours sleep.
Really?
It was rough.
Wow.
It was rough. Monday was a very painful day. I kind of had me thinking, and usually it's always like this.
Right.
In terms of like right at the end and everything, kind of have me thinking about when you're doing those, when you're in the military, doing those exercises, and we have to stay up for, those points for getting 4 or 5 hours sleep. That stressful thing, and it's just that painful feeling you be having to stay awake. But we made it happen and everything. But when you go past 40, you don't recuperate the same.
No, that's true. That's
so,
true.
I had to park that car in the garage. So again, that's been a little challenging recuperating and everything, but I should be back to normal by the end of the month.
Recuperated and rehabilitated.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. We got great. Tell everybody thanks for tuning in last week. We got great reviews from last week's show. We appreciate all the support with that. We're growing the channel tremendously. I hope we're putting out good content to everyone. Everybody's enjoying the information we're putting out. We have an awesome show planned for tonight that will be starting on shortly and everything. But again, as always, continue to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave good comments. Well, you can leave good comments, but just leave some comments and tell everybody about us. And if you got questions or anything, feel free to touch bases with me if you have them. And right now, I also want to kind of let everybody know to get ready for the month of May, probably near the middle. Worst case scenario, the end, we'll be rolling out those courses and webinars, next month. Those, business 101, credit 101, those kind of classes. Also, I'll be doing different speaking spots throughout Metro Atlanta in terms of, business startup practices. Those basic 101 classes when to start your business up, credit, marketing 101, management 101, those kind of classes. So if you're looking to get your business started, we'll be having those classes and courses rolled out. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'll be at Edmond Elementary in Forest Park with my brothers from the 100 Black Men in South Metro chapter. I'll be at Edmonds Elementary School in Forest Park. They have a mentoring day.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so we got to be up there and everything. So That'll be cool and everything. And lastly, next Friday, 100 Black Men of South Metro, we having our Celebration of Excellence banquet next Saturday. Next Saturday, April 27th at 6 p.m. at Marriott Marquis downtown. With the event, we celebrate all those young men that's on our Rites of Passage program, those graduating seniors for this year. Highlight those kids, give those young men, tons of scholarship money.
Say they get scholarship.
They get money on top of money. It's an awesome event and everything. So, again, but we have a show before then, but we're having that next Saturday, our Celebration of Excellence dinner. And everyone that says purchase raffle tickets or purchase anything or any kind of support with me or any one of our mentees out of South Metro Trapped, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart with that. And with that said, we're going to start getting ready for this week's show. This week's show is real awesome. And what I was just thinking about the other day, because, you hear so many people just kind of like getting different kind of ruts and funks in their life. Me and you be rapping all the time about different times we get complacent or kind of getting those little stop signs.
Yeah, exactly.
In life and everything. Yeah. And you need those kind of friends you can sit here and talk with. Hey, man, you can do it, do this, that, and that, or give you a way you can get around it. Yeah, you stuck at that wall and like, shit, man, do you want to turn around or you just going to knock it down, climb over, or whatever? And too many people are stuck in those walls. And what I wanted to discuss is, if you are one of those people that you feel every year you're in the same damn situation. You start off with all these goals, but you keep finding yourself, your money ain't right, your job ain't right, things keep going around. You still staying in the same situation year after year, and nothing changing for you. You're not going anywhere. This show is for you.
There you have it.
We're gonna talk about why having your life change, and also we're talking about why having your life change. I'm also gonna give you strategies on how to improve yourself and get out of situations so you can make your life change. Because far too often, we all start with that Happy New Year's resolution.
Exactly.
And everything. Because come November, December, give everybody hope. I'm gonna lose this weight beginning of the year. I'm starting that diet and everything. Beginning of the year, I'm try to go look for a new job and all this kind of stuff. And then like right now, we done passed the first quarter of the year. And ain't a damn thing happened.
This ain't nothing changed. It's all the same.
They already in April talking I'm going to start in 2020 losing the weight.
2021. When 2021 comes, it's coming down. It's going down.
Yeah. And it's far too often you got people that are, it's depressing. Because you have all that hope, and hope is great. But when you have all that hope and all those plans to make strides in life, and when things don't work out, it's easy to get ejected. If you're not necessarily a self-driven person, you can kind of get, in a funk real quick. And I'm going to share a story about, for me personally, I was just thinking about, my trick when I was in corporate America, where, you have the typical story. You go and everybody preach the same thing when you're younger. You work hard, you get your education and all that kind of stuff. You go up the corporate ladder and all that kind of stuff. And I had that same promise and everything in my head, So I was going through, doing the thing, you get your bachelor's, you get your master's, coming in early, staying in late, that same bullshit.
Yeah, that same shit.
Doing it all, going above and beyond, and shit stayed the same. And in the process of things staying the same, what was happening? Other people was progressing,
moving on up, moving around,
and so you kind of like, okay, you got one part of you where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep working harder. My time just ain't came. You got other part of you, that little damn hate bug. How the hell this, that, and that? They paid the white woman and this, that, and that. What I gotta, grow up behind. To getting the women all around here. I gotta flirt or something. I'm all kind of stuff creeping in my head.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, and I ain't finna sit here and say all this stuff with BS either. But
somebody who was legitimate, right?
Exactly. But what I do know is I was progressing. You just wonder yourself, like, why is my life changing? Why isn't things? I'm doing everything I feel like I'm supposed to do. Even when you had a moments when you BSing, you BSing. Right. You know what I mean? And so you sit there and saying to yourself, why is nothing different? Why hasn't nothing changed? And you start thinking of things you can do more and everything. And you start, you have a decision to make to say, okay, you want to blame it on everybody, and then you want to sometimes blame it on yourself, and then you ask yourself, like, honestly, am I doing something wrong and stuff like that? Because you got thoughts all over your damn head. You talk to some of your close friends and stuff like that and try to get, like, different kinds of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Some going to be biased, some going to be unbiased. But you really don't know what the hell it is. And really and truly, you have to come to that point where you just say to yourself, my life hasn't changed because I haven't made my life change. And that was the thing with me, because there are so many times in life that changes in your life really aren't going to come like certain people make decisions for you.
Right.
Am I going to get Deonte this raise? Are we going to get Deonte this promotion? We're going to get Deonte this new project to take on and stuff like that. No matter what you've done.
Right.
And when you're in those kind of situations where other people have to make decisions about things that can occur in your life, you're just pretty much at their disposal. They're controlling your destiny. They're controlling your future. And you have it out your hands. So at that point, you got to sit there and say to yourself, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
And when you do that, you got to sit here and make those scary decisions that, look, I got to just change my whole situation. And we talked about that before. I mean, that's very frightening.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's more frightening when you don't change it. And you're not always going to get chances.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about it. We depending on how your life is, you may be a older adult before it hits you like, hey, life ain't fair.
Right.
You can be a young, a teenager or a child and get dealt rough deck of cards for life, and you'll sit there and say, man, life is rough.
Right.
And like I said, you can get older and do all this kind of stuff that don't hit you. That, hey, dang, I'm black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And unfortunately, and realistically, when it happens, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know personally, I kept going through them circles of saying, getting so pissed off, and I ain't getting this chance, and I ain't getting that chance, because you go from trying to figure out it's something you doing and making excuses and stuff, blaming other people, to the point like, look, I realize that I'm letting other people make these decisions they affected my life.
Right.
I realize these people are doing these things to me, but I stayed maybe a couple years into it, just getting bitter and bitter and bitter, hoping for some shit that wasn't gonna happen.
Right.
So you wonder why, why ain't things changed, and stuff like that. And you just gotta come to that damn realization, and you can either do it sooner than later, but you gotta come to it. Hey, this ain't gonna happen, and you're gonna have to make a change. Mm-hmm. And so many people are in those same situations where they're wondering why their life hasn't changed, why, this hasn't happened. I'm trying my best to lose this weight, but I can't get it off. I start off, and then I hit a little stumbling block and everything, then I quit. We wanted to start this business off. We get all that energy. We got everything started. And we open the doors. The first month or two, we ain't got nobody coming in. And now we all bitter. Black folks don't want to support me. Man, these folks here, people hating on you. Your enemies everywhere. I see it all the time. People putting in crazy quotes.
Every day.
Look on Facebook. You'll see people just, this, that, and they ain't said a damn thing about what they're not doing.
Right.
Blaming everybody.
Right.
Hell, even Trump done did something to them.
You don't even know.
And instead of just looking at man in the mirror.
I think a lot of times what we get caught up in is we get caught up in the fact that we don't think that we get lost in. We don't think that we always want to be the victim, and sometimes the victim card works every now and then, but it don't work for everything. And instead of saying that what the victim is, like we talked about earlier, my epiphany that I just gotta be an overachiever. I just gotta go harder. Sometimes you just gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, dude, what you ain't doing? And sit down, write it down, and think about it and say, I could be doing this, but I'm not. I could be doing that, but I'm not. So I need to start doing this, and this. And that may make my business or whatever my endeavor is a little bit better. Because I'm finding that, unfortunately, people don't really support you until you're already successful. Nobody wants to come in on the grind. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be rich. But everybody wants to go from A to Z. Nobody wants to worry about that B, C, and D, and E in the middle. So a lot of times, unfortunately, when you have a business or whatever your endeavor may be, you may be looking for support, but they're not going to support you until you've already done the work and already put in the effort and already made it successful. I saw a good quote today says, and I'm telling you now, I'm sorry. A good quote today says that you're not going to be motivated all the time, but you have to keep pushing. And I heard another one today a little while ago before I got home, and the guy said, I hit that wall. And when I hit that wall, I keep pushing at the wall, and I decided to myself I'm going to keep pushing the wall or I'm going to bag up off the wall. But if you keep pushing the wall, once it starts moving, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
You
never know the outcome if you don't stop. You know the outcome. The outcome is guaranteed if you stop. It's over. But if you never stop, you just never know what's going to happen. Right. And very few people in this world are self-driven.
Right.
And everything. So a lot of people, they start certain things and they don't get the support they want. That's when they get ejected. But we're going to go over a lot of that in tonight's show.
Okay.
Because I want people to be aware of all those things. That's what I want to bring up in terms of, number one, when things aren't going the way you want to and you just try to have some kind of accountability to say, okay, look, maybe just need to start with, that man in the mirror, that woman in the mirror, why things aren't and everything. So tonight's show is really going to focus on, why haven't your life changed and everything. So I want everyone to take notes on the four. I'm going to give you 4 things you need to do to get the ball rolling to make your life change. And it deals with addressing everything, give you a game plan, and also kind of like an assurance for you to keep going back to make sure you don't go back into those pitfalls to kind of get you stuck in the rut you may be currently in. So those 4 things we want to do, 4 steps that I want to give everybody is, number one, take ownership. Take ownership of the whole situation. The second is form a game plan. The third one is execute that plan. And the fourth is to go back and evaluate everything once that plan has been executed, just to come back and do those checks. Again, that's take ownership, form a game plan, execute the game plan, and go back and do evaluations. Okay. Again, this is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Yeah, I think starting to get a little bit more traction. We got a little bit more followers. You put Changing Lives in. But typically, if you put in Deonte Burden in the YouTube search, you'll see that little blue man icon.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go.
I've done it.
Yeah, you hit up on it, subscribe to it. I think we might be over 20 episodes now.
Oh, yeah.
Right at 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And I have probably another 30 of those 1 to 10 to 15 minute videos on the site. So we're well over right at 60 videos on the channel. So it's not just the shows there. We got a whole lot of good information there for you to review. Perfect when you drive home for work and you got nothing going on.
Take a listen.
Yeah, just listen to the one little short video before you turn on Game of Thrones, Power, and everything. All that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, you'll be Ghost. You know what I'm saying? What's the dude name? The Light King. What the hell on Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You can be him too. Keep tuning in to Change Lives.
Deonte giving you the tools to be powerful. There you have it. The king of your own destiny.
There you go. Okay, we're going to go with step 1, take ownership. All right, this right here is the most powerful thing. And it's step 1. If you're going to take ownership, we're looking at, again, we're starting, why haven't my life changed? Let's take ownership. So we're going to look at just number 1, knowing the buck stop with you. Okay? At the end of the day, you got to be smart enough to know no one can control your damn life unless you let them do it.
Right.
No one can make certain decisions to affect your life unless you make them do it. Of course, you may be in a situation where this is my boss, I need a job and everything like that, but you still know that, hey, big picture-wise, if I make a plan, I can get out of this situation. But addressing that whole point that everything starts with you. Do not put people or empower people enough where they can make decisions or do certain actions that can affect your future. You cannot do that. So number 1, we're talking about taking ownership and addressing the fact that the buck stops with you. Not letting those people control your destiny. Sometimes, we sit here and start bringing up certain things where you say, if I had to go to work, man, I got to take my kids, I got to do this, that, and that, and everything. Sometimes just stop 1 second and just say, Just I. Stop pointing the finger out. Just say I. What can you do? When is it ever your fault? You know, when did you F up? When did you make those decisions to put yourself in this situation? Let's go back and let's just take total ownership and just say, be transparent with yourself and just do that assessment to say, I did this shit. And for me to start, I got to start, just looking at what I did wrong, what I did to let certain people or certain situations get a certain way. If I don't start eating late at night, if I didn't start drinking, if I didn't start, want to party and I knew I was starting my business and I kind of lost focus with it. If I didn't do enough, to study the test. I remember when I failed my first driving test as a teenager. I had all kind of excuses. This, that, and that. I ain't say shit about me. And my granddad just told me, man, just shut the hell up.
Right.
Your ass didn't study.
That's it.
And I didn't want to say that.
Right.
But it hurt. He cut me like a knife when he said it. But that, just having those moments where you say, I did this.
Right.
Are you doing more damn talking than you doing? And that's most folks. They sit here and just reel off all kind of reasons, Well, if I had this and I had that, but if I had some money, I'd start a business. No, hell, you wouldn't. If you had some money, you'll do the same shit you know them to do.
Right.
You'll sit here and just blow it and blow it and blow it and blow it and keep talking about what you're going to do the next year. Just being able to put the left foot in front of the right foot in front of the left foot, just moving forward one step at a time and doing it. And that's the number one thing, just taking ownership. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to do something different. We kind of find comfort in conformity. When we sit here so used to how things are, we get used to it, and that change coming is just very nerve-wracking. Man, I don't feel like damn moving. All the opportunities on the other side of the fence. I don't want to damn move, man. I've been in this place so long.
I don't want to climb that damn fence. I don't want to climb that fence. That's the hardest thing. Some people are scared to step out on and take a chance.
That's it.
A lot of people miss out on opportunities because they don't want to take that chance. Chances, it's all a chance. No matter if you have a well written out plan, it's still a chance. It's still a chance that plan that you is the wrong plan. It's still a chance that you still gonna fail. Even if you have it written from A to Z of what's gonna happen in between, it's still a chance it may fail. It's all chance.
Yeah, and what we talked about. Don't be afraid of doing it. Be more afraid if you look back not doing it.
Not doing it. You talked about that a couple shows ago.
Cause that's one thing. What always sticks with me when you talk to an older person, and when they're talking about when they're reflecting back on their lives, it's a painful look on their face on the opportunities and things that they didn't try to do in life.
Right.
I wish I had did this. I wish I had did that. My grandmother that raised me, I just remember being a teenager. She said, I used to do hair when I was young. I wish I went to school. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, grandmama, they kind of just got me.
Right,
and she had just kind of like this look, just like, well, I'm too old. And again, people, listen, don't let age or time affect shit. If you know you're going to be in the same situation, you say, okay, listen, somebody say, I want to go back to school. I'm too old to go back to school. If you're going to be in that same situation for the next 4 or 5 or 6 years, shit, you might well just knock out school.
I know, right?
But, if you're not going to change your situation, don't make excuses. Your life will only change if you make that decision.
Right.
Don't run away from opportunities. Don't run away from chances because of your fear, your inhibitions.
Right.
Take those chances and stuff. And number one, like I said, just take ownership. Take ownership of you and just know that you are the person that's controlling you. You are the person that's controlling your destiny. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do. Because everybody wants to sit here and blame everything besides themselves. Be it other people, be it circumstances, be it jobs, be it just their money, all kind of bullshit. But you got to make that decision. Just, hey, look, I got to do this.
I got to do it.
I had to do it my damn self.
Right.
I had to do it my damn self. Like, cause I had so much. I argued so damn much. About man, these damn folks want to do this, they want to do that. My buddy of mine like, well, shit, why don't you do your own damn thing, Poochie?
They ain't never thought of that.
Shit, thought about it, but then you just that voice ain't loud enough, so you ignore it. You want to hear that complaining ass voice a little bit more because it's more confident. So that one of the things you have to just take ownership, and I've done it myself. And again, I'm just being transparent about like things that happen in my life where I have to do that. Where I had to do that rather, and I'm just telling everybody: number one, take ownership. The second thing I want you to do is game plan. Okay, so once you done sit here and made that decision, look, I'm in control. I'm Captain Kirk. Okay. What the damn Star Trek
Starship Enterprise.
Starship
You're
Enterprise?
captain of
Yeah.
Starship Enterprise.
My dumb ass about to say the SS Minnow. I'm like, that Gilligan, ain't it? Shit, wrong boat. Hey,
Wrong boat.
yeah.
That boat sank. We ain't talking about that boat. We ain't talking about that boat.
Damn, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking about the damn minnow. Well, yeah, we on the SS or the Starship Enterprise. You Captain Kirk. Okay, you in control of the ship. We done made that decision. We finna take ownership. Now we're gonna make a game plan. Okay. And with that game plan, we got to make sure we're making a realistic game plan. We just can't just say some crazy shit. I'm finna go take on the world. I'm finna be the CEO of this, that, and that. And you quit your job, you leave, and 3 months later, you're back at the job. Y'all back hiring? Y'all got in the room? Nah, hell no. We need to make a realistic game plan on how we're going to implement, our strategy or what we want to do to make these changes, okay? We ain't finna just sit here and say, hey, look, I want to lose weight. I'm going to drink some tea. What we talk about, getting some wraps, all that kind of stuff. I got to make a realistic game plan. It's going to take me a year to get this weight off. I got to go to the gym 3 or 4 times. I got to change my diet. Make that a solid plan that you can implement, you can track. It can be incremental, and you can just go about it and be successful. Mm-hmm. We ain't just doing this damn wishful thinking, and everything. Right. That's how we're going to have the game plan. Set a realistic time frame. Like I just said, if it's going to be something that's going to take, you can do it in a week, a couple months, a year. Set a realistic game plan, timetable rather, on how you can implement your this game plan. Whatever funk you got your life into, remember, you did not get in that funk overnight, and you're not going to get out of it overnight. So make sure whatever you're doing, you have a solid plan. You're going to be patient. You're going to be realistic, and whatever you do, you're not going to quit. Devise a way you can be accountable. This is very, 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 very crucial, because when we make certain walks in life and do certain changes, especially ones that we've been in for a while, it's gonna be lonely, and you're gonna be alone most of the time with doing it. So get some kind of way you can kind of keep yourself in check. Now that may be make yourself a personal checklist, like a daily checklist. You get up in the morning, I know, like I have a little board in my kitchen that I hardly damn check, but it's for my kids to know, hey, this one got the kitchen, this one got the trash, this one got, the vacuum, this, that, and that, just like a checklist to make sure, hey, you're doing this and everything. So if you're, hey, did I go to gym Monday? Did I go to gym Wednesday? Did I go to gym Friday? Did I eat this? Did I eat that? You got that checklist going. You got a calendar laid out. Certain days, you're getting these certain things done. And if you do these certain things, they should add to the total. Also, from a technology side, hell, use Google Alerts. That helped me out a lot. When, it's one thing, you got to do it. You got to wrote down. You get that beep, beep on your dang phone. Hey, look, you got a gym today. Hey, you need to go study. You need to go read and stuff like that. Use technology. Use technology. You can have something give you a call. You can have something flash up on your desktop or your phone, just whatever, just to help you keep accountable. Those things that use technology and everything. Don't make it, even though everything is on you, because even when people pat you on the back and give you certain support in different fashions, it's still you. You got to make that decision. So, hey, if you got technology and got certain things in place, start using those different accountability procedures to help you out. Lab, you said something a little while ago that was super, super important, and I want to bring that back in terms of what we're talking about as far as that game plan. People have to understand that they're not always going to get support from other people, and you have to not expect it.
Yeah, you guys gotta keep pushing, man.
Yeah. And
you can't expect. We talked about this. We talked about this on one of your shows, and I can't remember how many shows back it was, but we talked about the fact that we can't expect people to see our vision. We can't expect other people to see our vision. We know the vision, and we see the vision, and we see what we gotta do in order to implement this vision. But we can't expect other people to see our vision and to support us on what we see, because they don't see it. So a lot of times we get caught up into the fact of wanting support from people, even our own family. But if they don't see what you see as far as your vision, they're not going to support you. Like I said, they're not going to support you until it's already successful. And then you implemented the plan. You did everything you're supposed to do on the checklist. And now it's successful. And here they come. I knew this was going to be great. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you did. You ain't bought one thing out the store. You know what I'm saying?
I got some stories here about BS like that. and to that point, it's not really their job to see your vision.
It's not.
It's not. That's why it's your vision and everything. So you can't be that sensitive to be like, hey, I told seen certain posts before, you know who your friends are, they don't support you. Black folks don't want to support you in business, just start a business, you don't know, damn that shit. You started your business, you went on your certain trek in life because you wanted to change your situation. Okay? People got other shit going on in life. If they want to help you, they may help you, but they help may not come in the fashion you won't help. Right? Some people may sit here and do several posts and shares for you. Some people may do different kind of, leg work, hey, tune this, that, and that. Some folks just might look at your show, call you and say, good job. And some folks may not look at your shit all together. I'm saying myself, I'm thinking about myself then, or even just your bid and just check on you, how everything going. And that's just support. It doesn't necessarily be what you want. You might want folks coming in and flip burgers with you. You might want to have folks help carry crates, do certain things, but no, it's your vision and it's on you to do it. And too many times people get caught into that. Folks ain't supporting me and moving, but their way of support is their way of support. Even if they don't do it, that's it. And you got to get out of that shit. Exactly. Like I said, what you want for support and what you get may be two whole different things.
Exactly.
So that's one of the key things we got to make sure you understand that, look, just because people ain't doing all the rah-rah shit for you, remember, that's your vision. So when you're out here doing this kind of stuff, the buck stops with you. So you got to make sure you're doing everything, staying on track with everything. You want to say something?
No. I'm just listening to what you said exactly what I was going to say. Everybody's support is different. Everybody supports in the way that they know how to support, in the way that they think they should support. It's not going to necessarily be the support you think it should be. Everybody's not going to come down here and work the social media and do the cameras and tell you, Deonte, you're shining on this side a little bit. Nobody's going to do that.
Absolutely.
Everybody's support is going to be different. And like you said, some people are not going to support you at all because they don't see your vision. Absolutely. They don't see what the purpose. Some people could say right now, why are he on there doing that show? What's the purpose of that? Because they don't see the outcome. Nobody can really. A lot of people have a hard time seeing 2 months in advance, let alone 2-3 years in advance.
Exactly.
You be like, well, if I keep doing this for like 2 or 3 years.
And they still love you and they still your friend.
Exactly.
That's your vision. I talk to people all the time, well, hey, this person did this, that person did that, and you might can't do it. But like I always say, they ain't me.
Exactly.
They ain't Poochie. I give a damn what they did. Shit, they ain't me. Yeah. Shit, I can do it better.
Exactly.
I got that much confidence in myself. I don't give a damn. Now if certain things aren't possible, they aren't possible. But I got enough confidence in myself that, like, okay, I hear what they didn't go right, but shit, like I say, they ain't me.
That ain't me.
And everything. But again, people, that's a crucial point in that game plan aspect. Knowing that you're not all gonna get the support you want. Far too many people quit because they don't get enough cheerleaders and people patting them on the back. You be prepared to walk that lonely walk, and understand that's your vision, that's your dream, and that's for you to implement it, not everybody else to see. That's very crucial. Again, this is Deonte Burden hosting my show, Changing Lives. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. But right now we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Like my awesome producer DJ Lab said, right, we're not coming right. We should be streaming right now off YouTube on the Misfits Media Group. So if you missed it, we'll be uploading it back on my YouTube page later on and everything. So,
and I apologize, everybody. I'm sorry.
It's all good. But if you to that point, if you went on my YouTube page, you can go to Misfit Media Group and see it live streaming there, or you can check me out at Facebook and Instagram. We're here. We're going with y'all different kind of ways. But also make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The third thing I want to talk about is just execution. Okay, execution is just basically rolling out that game plan. Just sticking with it, fighting with it, everything. Just knowing that, hey, listen, this is my goal. I'm going to do everything I can possible. I've written out how to implement my goal. You know, if it's going to be a daily thing I have to do, a weekly thing I have to do, monthly, quarterly, yearly. I've written it out, and now it's time to keep going over and doing everything, those steps that I had to get everything done, okay? This is a good time when you execute and get you an accountability partner. What I mean by an accountability partner, you have not everyone, but you may have a person that you can call on just to kind of keep you in check. You know, just to say, hey man, did you do this? Did you send your emails off? Or hey man, did you do that? And you touch base with this person, and they may be in a similar situation. We'll say, hey, listen, man, on a weekly, or monthly, or quarterly basis, let's just touch bases to kind of make sure. I'm gonna give you the 3 or 4 things I need to do. You give them the 3 or 4 things you need to do, and let's just kind of make sure each other's accountable. And don't ask me, check me. Like, damn, Poochie, what you bullshitting, Poochie? You should have did that. You should have got that done. You know, you should have got that. Deonte, you said you were going to do it. You said that last month.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't need, that. You need somebody that's going to really check you. And you check them. You know, tell them what they need to hear as opposed to what they want to hear. So accountability partners are very important if you can get one. Because, again, not that you intentionally get off track, but sometimes, we had that thing we talk about called life. They can just set us back. Like, man, I had to take my kids here. I had to do that. Oh, man, me and my wife had to do something and stuff. Man, shit, bro. Like you said, man, I hear you, dog, but, man, I'm tired, bro. I hear you, dog.
Yeah, I hear you, yeah.
So now, damn, man, I got to still damn 1 o'clock in the morning because I got to get it done. And sometimes you need people to kind of check you like that, just to keep in there. So that's what those accountability partners for. So during the execution process, try to have those accountability partners. You have one, you have several, but make sure that people that are not going to not leave you accountable, and not ask you to do certain things, but they really make you feel, bad by not doing certain things. And also during the execution process, you using those steps that you planned on, going day by day, week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year, and you're just putting one step in front of the other, make sure that plan happens, okay? Lastly, we go into the evaluation process, okay? We've made a decision, take ownership.
I want you to go back. This is very important.
I'm
we talked about this before.
Talk to me.
Taking on each task one at a time. Remember, we talked about how we have so many things going on that we don't concentrate on one thing. We put enough effort in that one thing, get that right before we start moving on to something else. And on your outline, you said taking on each task one step at a time. So we want to make sure that I want to make sure that you emphasize that fact that you may have 15 ideas, but go ahead and start with one and see what that goes, and then maybe go to the other one. Don't try to take on all 15 at once.
Gotcha. Glad you said that.
Yeah.
Let me say something to everybody. I know we hear the word multitask, but everybody ain't a multitask person. What I always think about when you go to the circus, you see the guy, you got one guy, he might can juggle one the ball, throw it up, about to say something, throw it up in the air and catch it. You got some guys can do 3 at a time.
Right.
You got some guys do 4. You got some guys, we got 10 of them, and they doing it. They catch them in their mouth, biting the orange and doing this, that, and stuff. Be real with yourself. Right. I know people here, hey, learn to multitask. If you're not a multitask person, stay away from it. And if you a dual task person, do 2 tasks. But don't be trying to sit here and do 4 or 5 tasks, and your brain don't function like that. I ain't calling you dumb. I ain't calling you slow.
Right.
But be realistic what kind of person you are.
I'll put myself out there. I consider myself a multitask, but my problem is that I have ADHD. So I might be doing something, and then all of a sudden I just start doing something because my mind, I might be, I'm write this down. Let me go ahead and write this down. Then I might be looking up something, and then when I start looking up something that applies to what I'm doing right at that point, then I get into that. Like, oh, really? Then you start, you know what I mean? So
got you.
So it takes me places.
Good point I want to rise that I didn't bring up. Part of this execution process when you're doing that, when you're executing these different tasks, look at each task and be realistic. We're already saying like putting the task on a time frame, but also in part of putting the task on a time frame, assess the task. If it's a task that's going to take 100% of your attention, it can take 75% of your attention. It can take 25, or something you just take 10 or 20. You just check it off, move a box, go pick something up. It doesn't take too much attention. Mm-hmm. But if you know something that takes 100% of your attention, I would advise you to not be trying to multitask and go back to it and do something else. Give those kind of items, along with knowing the time frame. Even if it's a short, it's only going to take you maybe a day or a couple hours to do it. Go on and give it at 100% of your attention if you know it's one of those tasks. So that's oh man, I don't know how I missed that. So even when you're looking at the time frame that it takes each task, also look at the emphasis of your attention that it takes. Because again, if it's something that's going to take 100% of your time, I wouldn't advise you to multitask on it. Mm-hmm. But if you go to like, hey, it's going to take 50%, maybe you can kind of do this and also work on something else, lose a little focus. Mm-hmm. So make those kind of notes on there. So like I said, the time frame each task takes and the actual focus that it's going to take you. And if you do that, you won't get started on something, then get sidetracked. You know those things it's going to take that you can do 2 or 3 things at a time. Say if you had to go and pick something up or drop something off at a certain office, and you can make phone calls at the same time. Those 2 tasks you can do at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. Okay? You can listen to a certain speech while you're typing something up. Those 2 tasks you do at a time. But if it comes to like, you got to draft this whole proposal, get this report, do a business plan, make some kind of budget or finance thing, you need 100% of your time with doing that. Regardless if it's going to take you a week, regardless if it's going to take you an hour, you need total focus on that. So also make sure that the focus and the commitment to doing that task is taken consideration also. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that to my attention. The last thing that we want to do is the evaluation process. Okay? The evaluation process where we've maybe completed a task. You got everything done, and you do that assessment. And when it's done, you may or may or not reach that particular goal that you wanted to do. And we're talking about still, changing situations in your life. So you sat there and made a plan to change your life, mm-hmm. went through drew the game plan up, executed it, and now you at the evaluation process and shit didn't change. That's a bad feeling. Hey, now you back at square one. Yeah, shit, that damn lab did this. I told his ass I should have did. I knew I should listen to my dang self.
So that's the hardest part. That's the hardest wall to hit. I'm telling you.
And it happens so much, does. So that's why it's crucial that it's an evaluation process. And the evaluation process to ask, number one, have things changed? Did it make any difference what you're doing there? Okay. Why not? Did you do something right? Did you do something wrong? Maybe you can add a couple more things to it. Maybe you can do less. Why? Ask those questions. What can you do better? What can you do differently? Ask those questions, because again, because it didn't work out or didn't change, that doesn't mean stop. We just got to go back to the lab and make some changes here and there, okay? And that's one of the things I really want to bring up, because I didn't want to just sit here and just give you a formula and the shit didn't work. And you say like, damn, Deonte, it may not work, but that doesn't mean quit. That means we got to sit there and do that assessment, that evaluation, and say, okay, what could we be doing a little bit differently to make things happen? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Was your commitment there? Was your time there? Was the competency there? Was it realistic? Do you give yourself enough time to do it? Those kind of questions you got to ask yourself before you start looking at, hey, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, or whatever. We want to do that. The evaluation process is very important, because even if it does work, you want to sit here and look at it. Hey, could I have done a couple things to make it go a little smoother, mm-hmm. to make it go a little faster? Mm-hmm. If I'm advising somebody on what to do, is this the only way to do it? Can you look at, be open-minded about it, say, hey, this is the way I went about it. But I also noticed in doing it, there were a couple other, streets you could have took to get to that place, mm-hmm. And everything and stuff. I didn't notice it until I passed by it and everything, but depending on how it is, traffic, you can go these other ways and stuff. So that's why we do the evaluation process, not to beat ourselves up, not to kind of, get off certain things or whatever, but it's to kind of do that, research. We in the Army call it after action review, AAR, after we've done different kind of missions, to make that assessment. So what you want to do is make sure you can do everything more effective and efficiently. Effective meaning the impact that you had on it, efficiently meaning the time and money that you spend on a certain task to do. So you want to make sure that efficiency and effectiveness is improved each time that you do something. So that's why, because when we're dealing with, again, we're talking about why have my life changed. So many times we put certain efforts in, and we want this I dream of genie moment, but life don't happen like that.
Exactly.
So you got to make a lot of tough decisions. You got to put a lot of effort, sacrifice a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
to make certain changes in your life. And if you're not willing to do that, it ain't gonna happen. So that's why we want to make sure that we gave you a good game plan to move forward with everything. So again, the things what I want everybody to do when you start looking at why haven't my life changed. Number one, take ownership of the situation. It starts with you. Take ownership. Everything, no person, no place, no thing, anything out there can control your destiny. So number one, take ownership. The number two thing is form a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Map out how you want everything to be done. Be realistic about it. If it's going to take a week, a month, a year, however it is done. And also, if you can use some kind of a checklist or some kind of way to kind of remind you of certain things to be done. I brought up the Google Alerts. I think Apple has. I have an Android, so I'm pretty sure Android, Apple has the same kind of function.
It does.
You can get anything to kind of send you an alert, each week or each month to remind you certain things coming up and everything. Also, most importantly, don't sit there and wait and hope people gonna support you, and everything, because people not obligated to support you or see your vision. The third thing is execution. Once you got that plan together and everything's in place, start executing, start rolling it out, getting everything done. Like we just brought up, make sure that the tasks that you're doing when you're doing the execution, you're giving each task the proper time and the proper focus. Like I say again, if you're not a multitasking person, I know it sounds good, you hear it all the time, but if your damn brain don't function to multitask, don't multitask. Single task your ass the whole way to it, okay? And like I said, I ain't call nobody dumb, I ain't call nobody slow, but you know how you are. Okay, and then the fourth thing is the evaluation. That evaluation is make that assessment where you can look at the things that you did right, the things you did wrong. How can you do it differently? How can you do it better? How can you do it more efficiently? How you can do it more effective? If it worked for you, if it didn't work for you. If it didn't work for you, that doesn't mean quit. That means you make a couple of changes and go back to the lab and put your new plan or your adjusted plan back in place. And if it did work for you, you're just making certain notes on things that you may have done differently. So if you're helping someone in the future, or if you have to cross it again, hey, this is a better route to go into it because you went through a certain way. You may have got everything accomplished, but if you do certain things different, you might get it done quicker or a little bit better. Okay. I always go back to high school when I was at Charles Lincoln Harper High, and we used to do the morning note. Was it the morning or the afternoon? I can't remember. But it was a quote that always stuck with me. It was from the late great educator Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, and he was at one point Dr. Mays was I don't know if he was the first. I don't think he was the first black school superintendent for Atlanta Public School, but it was a quote that always stuck with me. They say all the time, and if it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. And just hearing that a lot of times, as simple as that sound, is extremely powerful. So if things are to happen for you in your life, it's up to you to make that change. And I know with me personally, I've sat there and want to blame certain things. You have certain things go rough in life. The people that are closest to you is the hurt. I remember when I was just stressing a lot of times at my job. I come home, man, I snap on my family so much, and I hate I was doing it. But when you have those stresses in life and certain things, it manifests some way.
It does.
Just coming out. Not that you try to be cold and callous to your friends or family. It's just shit. You have so much shit going on with life that you can't really get out at that point. You hate where you're at in your job. You hate where you're at in your life. And the people closest to you, oh, get the hell off around me. You just short. And it has to come out some way. So I just want to challenge everybody. If you want to make certain changes in your life and you want to make things better or whatever, it's on you. And you may be uncomfortable decisions you have to make in the process, but, just understand that the buck stops with you. Stop with you or start with you. Regardless, you're going to have to make the decision.
Buck stops with you.
Buck stops with you. Hey, I'm still on tax. My brain's still on tax season, so I ain't fully recovered yet. But understand, like I said, everything, comes to the decision that you make. So, again, I hope you'll like tonight's show in regards to asking yourself that question, why my life hasn't changed. You ask yourself those, take those 4 strategies that we gave you to do. I think you'll see a lot of things change for you. My tip this week, I have a business tip for all you business owners, and it involves business insurance. Okay, business insurance is something that most business owners don't purchase unless they have to. Okay, and with business insurance, it may just be regular general liability, where it just covers, certain mishaps or things like that. Somebody fall, something breaks or whatever. You may get a bond. Bond usually covers an individual if there's theft, something missing, or anything like that illegal. And, we have, especially like the accounting field, we call errors and omissions. We may put a number in wrong, added something wrong to cover that. The thing with, when you're in business, it's just like we had a life and a car insurance and stuff. No one gets in trouble or makes mistakes on purpose. Okay? But what you don't want to have happen when you're doing your thing, because you are human, mistakes happen. So we want to make sure that you get that business insurance to cover yourself, not only for your business, but also your personal side, because you don't want stuff to linger over from the business where it may go back to your personal life and affect stuff there and everything. So make sure when you're in the process of starting a business, or if you're already in business right now, if you don't have business insurance, you acquire it. Okay? Because the last thing you want to have happen is that a mistake that you've made causes you to shut down because you weren't covered. And again, most of your insurances out here are pretty nominal. You don't have to pay a lot of money for it and stuff. Most time it just come down to most time people just don't take it serious and think it really matters, so they kind of avoid it. So I just want to challenge, any current business owners that don't have business insurance, or any new business owners that look to start a business, to go out and acquire business insurance. Just get your regular general liability. Depending on what type of business you have, you might have to get bonded. You may have to get something a little bit more specialized. You may have to get several different kind of policies, but get it, because you want to be able to sleep better at night. Lord knows I've done the damn free will and stuff where I don't went years didn't have it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just lucky.
Right.
But, as you get older and you see a couple people go through some changes because they didn't have it, it scared the hell out you.
Yeah.
So now I don't do it anymore, and everything. Because, again, when you're driving your car and you don't have car insurance and, that little one moment, boom, you don't hit somebody from behind. Shit, boy. And you don't have no insurance? Oh, man. So I just want to make that challenge to anyone, any current and any aspiring business owners. So make sure you take care of that business insurance. Because, again, it's to protect you, keep you whole, and also make sure things don't, affect your personal side while you're in business or anything like that. We're coming to that last piece of the show. We're getting ready to conclude the show. And I want to go back to the point, where we had our show on in regards to changes in your life. And understand that nothing in your life is going to change unless you make it happen. I try to be transparent in regards to my life and how I wanted certain things to happen, because we all kind of look at the same, kind of follow the same blueprint. Work hard. You work hard and you do certain things, you'll get promoted, you'll get raises, you get stuff like that, and shit just don't happen like that.
That's true.
And when you sit there and have those expectations, people get dejected and upset because things didn't fall in the place they wanted to. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
Especially the way that you think that it's going to happen. It never happens that way.
Exactly. And again, we don't live in a cave. We live in this big world where we're dealing with other people. And a lot of times people, they can make decisions for you. And even when people don't make decisions for you, you got different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
You think about items like the Great Depression, back the market crash in the 80s. Hell, the one we had in 03 and that one we had in 09. God, that right there
was terrible.
That got your mind right.
Uh-huh.
That one in 09. Woo, 03 too. Woo. I had a credit line for $25,000 that went to $5,000 in a matter of 2 days.
Really?
2 days. Chase. Game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
I think the one in 08 was more devastating because it hit more just regular folks.
Hit regular folks. Totally took that whole real estate market out.
Yeah.
and everything, and it just, you seen industries just crumble.
Mm.
The 103 just was so tough in terms of just, just how with the airline industries and all that kind of stuff, 9/11 had just hit. But, even with that said, I bring that up to say that things that you have no control of happen.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nothing to do with a damn person. Just certain things, technology. Look at all them damn people in the Midwest lost their jobs, and they got, we want jobs. Like, some of these jobs ain't coming back.
Yeah.
And,
innovation takes jobs.
Absolutely. You see all these people breaking their necks for the past 5 years. I want a working wage. I want a living wage. You see the guys at the fast food places, they want it, and they've pushed for it. And a lot of states have did what? They've increased minimum wage. Mm-hmm. But what have McDonald's and all them done? They got robots making burgers. What the warehouses got? They got order machines pulling orders.
Pulling orders, and then they have machines that actually bring it down and load them in trucks now.
Yeah. They can't get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to take a pee break.
Don't call in.
Hey, don't say a damn thing. And sometimes you're programmed to say, you want more, sir?
Uh-huh.
So that's what happens. Automation and innovation, like you just said, that takes jobs. Technology does that. And those are just things that with you doing everything right and everything possible in life, changes that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like, damn, I'm tired of this and doing that. That's what happens. So you have to take ownership of your life. Make sure you're putting yourself in a situation where you can try to make yourself recession-proof. Okay, I know you love your job. I know you love what you do. But hell, Watson. Watson might be doing some damn accounting one day.
Right.
Watson may be doing some teaching one day.
Right.
And I got to figure out some other way I can survive in here.
Yeah.
And everything. So if you got to sit here and just, like I said, make yourself recession-proof. I know you like doing what you do. It just don't work like that all the time. And
true. You have to reinvent yourself in certain ways. Like me, I was in property management. I managed shopping centers,
mm-hmm.
but they consolidate all those companies so much now. It's an overflux of property managers now. Back then from 07, 08, 06, you could go from property manager to property manager job and still make the same amount of money, sometimes more. But when it crash happened in 2008. All them real estate firms and property management firms, them banks start calling them notes on them shopping centers, $800, $200, $300 million, mm-hmm. and the company don't have it to pay. They start calling bankruptcy. Then they start, the big ones start buying up smaller ones. Then you got 400 people doing the same, who can do the same job. So you have to reinvent yourself and do something else, and try something else.
Put in perspective this, just something you think about. Just say in a matter of 10 years, we went from offering rapid refund to the government took rapid refund away.
Mm-hmm.
Then people still going to your tax man. And then what happened now? Now you got everybody offering what? Free tax preparation.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody can do this. And now you got the commercials coming on. We'll do your taxes for you for free. What the hell free is? I have no idea. So you just look at just that whole tax industry. We went from probably 10 years ago with people knocking on the door wanting rapid checks to now you can't offer rapid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you turn around now, people really ain't want to come to you because they want to do it themselves. They come back to you after they done booger something up and everything. So you just look at a drop off of just out of just innovation and change. The only thing that helps, I think, saves us just as tax preparers. To be honest with you, everybody in the United States and America that has a job had to get their taxes done. Yeah. So you really don't.
But Congress and the Senate is gonna save the tax preparer industry because they're trying to pass a law, and I know you're a taxpayer. I'm not trying to say nothing negative. They're trying to pass a law that says that the IRS will not develop their own tax preparing system. You get what I'm saying? So the IRS will not compete with H&R Block and all those big ones because, tax preparing companies because, like, say if the IRS did it, they could just do it for free.
They tried to, though. They did 3 years ago. They tried to get us all regulated and everything.
Uh-huh.
So they're trying. But to that point, you just got to be ready for change.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. Again, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives. If you didn't get a chance to file your taxes, you need help, reach us at Majestic Business Services. Our number is 678-479-4007. Again, that's 678-479-4007, Majestic Business Services. Book an appointment, get your tax preparation done. But again, I'm Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives. Thanks again. I love you guys, and I appreciate everybody tuning in this week. We had a blast. I hope you enjoyed the information we put out this week. Talk to you later, and see you next